My mom's out of town and she says, I left you a bag of cookies. She said she put them in a bag because a lot of them were broken. So it's like a little cookie mix. No, you can't have one. They can't even see you. Where even are you? Come here. Welcome back to Ever Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess. I'm watching Ever Disney Movie Ever. Today I'm going to talk about Going to the Mat. Going to the Mat is a 2004 Disney Channel original movie. It's directed by Stuart, Gillard, cinematography by Thomas Burstyn, editing by James R. Symons, music by Christopher Brady, and it's written by Chris Nolan, Laurie Nolan, Steve Bloom, and Stu Krieger. The film stars Andrew Lawrence as Jace, Khleo Thomas as Vincent Shu, Alessandra Torresani as Mary Beth, D.B. Sweeney as Coach Rice, Billy Aaron Brown as John, and Wayne Brady as Mason. The film has a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes and is apparently one of the most highly acclaimed DCOMs, which is very interesting. I'm kind of going to combine cinematography, editing, and music all together right here just for quickness' sake, because all of them were fine. They were not like out of this world and they weren't terrible, but I was a little disappointed. I feel like DCOMs lately have kind of been stepping up the game. They all try to do something. If they're not succeeding super in cinematography, they're trying in music or something like that. But all three of these categories were just like average. They were just like, yep, like there was no impressive camera movement, especially because we were dealing with a sport, we're dealing with wrestling, so I thought there might be some interesting shots and stuff like that, but there wasn't really. I mean, I didn't super notice any, which I guess means they chose shots that were effective to telling the story, and there was movement, which was great, but there wasn't anything that like kind of really made me feel like I was in there with him. And then the editing was fine, like the movie was fine, paced, it was fine, and then the music was nothing that stood out, especially because like he's supposedly like a musician and stuff, so that opening number with him and his like little band was very good, but then nothing else really referred back to that. He did play music again, but it was fine. Just for the record, I'm not 100% positive this is based on a true story. I think the movie potentially said something, I don't know. But the research doesn't really say anything, but it seems to tackle it well enough. For those who don't know, this movie is about a boy that is blind, moves from one school that had a lot of awesome, like, accessible stuff. So he was on the basketball team, he was in, this really cool band, he was pretty popular, like, he had a lot of friends, and then he moves to this new school, and they don't really know anything about, like, being accessible for the blind, so he, and then he's trying to seem cool, and it's all, like, kind of uncomfortable, and then he finds wrestling, and it's kind of, like, there's nothing that needs to be changed in wrestling except his starting position, because it's a contact sport with one other person, so as long as he can, like, do that, he's fine. And it was fine. I wasn't, like, horribly invested. I think I'll get there, but, I think the story was handled fine. I don't have any strong opinions about it. I didn't hate it. Like I just said, I don't have strong opinions. But it wasn't, like, super moving. Not that it has to be super moving, but it also wasn't, like, incredibly entertaining. It was fine. Every movie that Andrew has done where he's had to be, like, a confident, like, jerk in the beginning or part of the story, I have not liked, because I feel like he's not good at it. I feel like he's so much better at the sweet, vulnerable, like, horse sense and jumping ship. I'm obsessed with his character. I think he does such a phenomenal job at that character. And then in this, when he finally starts to be sweet and vulnerable, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, finally. Like, actual good substance. And maybe I don't like it because he is being such a jerk or something, but normally when a character is a jerk, I'm like, oh, whatever, they're a jerk. But there's just something about it, like, it just puts me off of the movie. And I think it's because I don't buy it. I don't believe him when he's being like that. So I don't know. It's not my favorite. And then also the coach being the dude from The Cutting Edge is exciting to me. D.B. Sweeney. That was cool. It was so weird to see Andrew so grown up. Puberty is a hell of a thing. He is so muscular in this movie. It's like he's like his brothers. The last movie I saw him in, I'm pretty sure was Jumping Ship, and he was still such a little baby, and Joey and Matthew were like, and now he's like that, and I'm like, what is happening to these brothers? And then, the kiss between him and Mary Beth was so unwarranted. I didn't like that love story. It was fine, I guess. I don't know. It wasn't my cup. What I did love was the friendship between Jace and John. How they, like, started as kind of enemies to lovers, but not lovers. So I really liked that they were, like, enemies to friends, and I thought it was sweet that they kind of agreed to help each other, and then they all got their, started to be there for each other. And then what I love the most in the story was when the dude wanted to write the article about Jace just because he was blind, and at the end he's so close with all his teammates by this point that they all pretend he isn't blind so the guy can't write the article. It was so good. It was so sweet. It was such a touching moment. But then very soon after that movie just ends, which I wasn't crazy about. I was kind of, I don't know, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of a resolution, but it's Jace just like takes Mary Beth to like an empty gym or whatever and is like, let's dance, and then the movie's over. That's everything I have for Going to the Mat. My final rating is 6 unitards out of 10. Our total movie count is Parent, that's all, and credit count are still the same. If you want to keep up with the movie I'm watching when, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. You'll find out movie I'm watching when. I put out videos every Monday and Friday and sometimes Wednesday. Join Patreon. Got a tier starting at just $1. Every video a week early. Coupon code for merch. Tiers above that get daily trivia, community chat access, random facts, weekly, monthly podcasts, private vlogs, monthly postcards, more coupon codes, free merch, whatever it might be. Go join. Buy merch. Merch is great. Merch is grand. Until next time, comment, like, subscribe, but I'm not in charge of your life. You are, see you, and don't be the guy that was like super Gelltown of Jace. He was rude for no reason. And all the people that were just nasty. I still have the Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen music stuck in my head. I need to get a different song stuck in my head.